Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ladies Lounge. We are very glad we're here again on your screens, and we've missed you. I'm sure you've missed us too. We're here today, and we have very lovely ladies, of course. We've got Vanessa.
Hello.
And we've got Stephanie, and of course myself, Data. And we have a very important guest in our midst today, and we'll be talking about a very important topic. So I'd like to introduce to you Pastor Marjorie Esomowe.
Thank you.
Did I get that right?
You did very well.
I know. I'll be crucified if I didn't pronounce that well. But yeah, we're very pleased to have you here with us today. So Pastor Marjorie is the founder for Wisdom for Women International and founder of Wise Women Awards. Mm-hmm. So she's going to tell us more about herself, and then we'll go into what we're going to be talking with her about today. So Pastor Marjorie, tell us something more about
who am I? I'm Pastor Marjorie Esomowe.
Okay.
And like you rightly said, president and founder of Wisdom for Women International, and of course the Wise Women Awards. I consider myself an advocate for women. I love women empowerment, and that's what I do. And I'm a wife and a pastor, of course.
Yes.
That's who I am in a nutshell.
Okay.
I wear a lot of caps, but in a nutshell, that's who I am.
Great. We're very, very pleased to have you here.
It's my pleasure.
Today. And today we'll be talking with Pastor Marjorie about cervical screening, by extension, cervical cancer. Can you tell us how and why you're supporting the cervical screening campaign?
First of all, I'm a woman. That's number one. And then I've got, sisters, church members, friends, and it came to my knowledge that every year in England, we lose 2 women.
Every day, actually.
Every day, two women to cervical cancer. As in,
that's high.
That's high. One is high every day, not to talk of 2. So, yes, when you find a good cause, you want to put in your passion, you want to put in your little influence to say, I'm also, trying to make sure that somebody's life is saved. It could be my friend, it could be a neighbor, it could be someone I've never met, but this is of concern to every one of us. Cervical cancer, cervical screening indeed saves lives, and that's really the message.
Okay, we're talking about this cervical screening. What is the cervical screening? What does it really mean? What do they do? So for someone that doesn't know about the cervical screening and go to the doctor, what is the test about?
In a layman's term, of course, from my own place, it's not a test for cancer.
Okay.
It's a test for the health of the cells of the cervix. And simply, that's what it is. So once they test the health of the cervix, if they're healthy, then fine. If they're abnormal, they can be corrected quickly so that it does not develop into a cancer.
Yeah.
That's my understanding as a lay person. So I think that's really what it is. It's not a test for cancer. It's a test for the health
of the cells,
of the cervix cells.
So I think that's worthy of note because I know, so many people would feel, cervical screening, I've got cancer, or I'm going to test for cancer. You're not going to test for cancer.
Yeah.
They're only testing the health of the cells in the cervix. That's what cervical screening is.
My question would be, if we know the benefit of it, why are women not, especially Black women or women from ethnic minorities, not actually going for the screening? Is there a reason from your opinion?
From my opinion, can I talk about myself?
Yes. Sure.
When I went for the first time, I've done it. I'm not as young as I look, so I've done it over some years. And initially, it's every 3 years, and now every 5 years.
Every 5 years for you.
For me now, because of my age.
Yeah, because we have to get that clear. Because for us, it's every 3 years.
Every 3 years.
So we want the audience to know that they are, age.
Exactly. First of all, for me, every 3 years, and now for 5 years. And the first time I went, because of my background, I felt really uncomfortable with the process and all that. But I had to speak to myself. sweetheart, you have just one life. And if this will save your life, that's it. So, yeah, I think people don't want to go because they feel uncomfortable. And then secondly, some people just don't want to deal with bad news. They think, well, just push it aside. If you don't know, it doesn't hurt you. And, but, like I said, it's just one life.
And prevention is better.
Prevention is always better than cure. And like they say, it's teaching time.
Saves 9.
Saves 9.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's very uncomfortable. I think for me, I had the letter a few times before I went. Because I'm thinking someone else going down there and looking at you, and it's just very uncomfortable. Yeah. But I guess it's best for us to to have a test done.
So Pastor Marjorie, for women who have never been before, they may hear us talking about it now and say, oh my God, what are they saying? What's all this? Will they really poke something in there? What would you say to them?
I would say relax. First of all, you need to relax. And secondly, think about the fact that this is your health.
That's it.
And life, there are other uncomfortable pain. And there's something about women. The threshold for pain is very high. Yeah. We can take, and this is not even pain per se. Thinking about my experience, it was just some pressure.
Yeah.
So it's not pain, some discomfort. So relax and think about the fact that this is your life and that this could save you. And when you get there, the nurses usually, because they know how sensitive this is, they are friendly. So talk to them if you don't understand and tell them I'm a bit nervous and take it from there. I would say call your doctor, your doctor today and just get an appointment. That's what I would say.
And that's the message we are indeed trying to pass across today. If you haven't had the screening done, you must call your doctor and make an appointment. It is important. Cervical screening saves lives.
It does save lives.
And that's the message we're trying to pass on today.
What about what about those women that maybe are very good Christians? We're Africans and we have this idea that God protects us, which He does. What about those people that think, oh, I don't need to get it done, I'm a Christian and the health is my portion and stuff? How, as a pastor, what message would you give to them?
You, as a pastor, you see things like that every day. You hear things like that. And it's our responsibility. And I think this is a message that needs to get to not just churches, but faith leaders across the board, to say that we need to speak to our people. It's like getting into a car and saying, well, God protects me, I'm not going to use the seat belt. We all use seat belts. We all fly on the plane. We use our seat belts. In the car, we use our seat belt. And we said it before, a stitch in time does save 9. So God protects. And one thing I love about the Bible is Jesus Himself described Himself as the great physician. So He likened Himself to a doctor. He worked with Luke. I don't know if you know, Luke, one of His disciples, it was a doctor. And so there is nothing wrong with checking. If you're thinking, well, God protects me, okay, let's even take it this way. Find out what is wrong. If you go and then you find us, okay, I'm praying. But how can you pray if you don't know what you're dealing with? You need to know what you're dealing with. No, there's nothing there.
It's wise.
Wise.
Because as my pastor would say, your body is your right to the earth.
That's right.
If you don't look after your body, how can you be here?
That's right.
So you have to look after yourself. And part of looking after yourself is getting things like this checked.
That's right.
Making sure that all is well.
That's right.
Because if you don't do that, how can you say, okay, I'm fine? How can you be alive to do the other things?
The flesh is the flesh.
Yeah.
He that is born of the flesh is flesh. He that is born of the spirit is spirit. So the Bible differentiates between the two. We need to look after the flesh.
Yeah.
We need to.
Yes.
And
Pastor Marjorie, can you tell us how you're going to support this campaign?
This is something that I'm really adding my voice to. And we're using the platform, by God's grace. We have the platform of the Wise Women Awards and other platforms. But on the Wise Women Awards, we are...
When is that going to
That's on the 30th. It's always, Wise Women Awards is always the Saturday before Mother's Day.
Okay.
So just remember, every year,
So that's easy to
Saturday before Mother's Day, because it's about celebration of women and celebration of mothers. So on that night, we're going to have an interview like this with a medical personnel who obviously is an expert. She would explain to the women. We're going to give that platform, and we're also going to give a platform for them to do surveys, of women that they're going to pick at random and just speak to them, find out their opinions, their fears, their concerns. But outside the walls of the Wise Women Awards, outside those walls, we have, by God's grace, a very good database, which we're going to use as well to promote. And of course, the social media, we're very active there. We're going to promote this. We started already. We're sending out the words to, all the platforms and avenues that we have to say, cervical screening does save lives. And if we save one woman, we've saved a lot of women, because one is a lot. One is a lot when it comes to death and when it comes to sickness and things like that. So yeah, that's just a little bit of what we're going to be doing to promote this, to use our little influence.
I mean, my GP, they messaged me and told me to book my appointment. So even though I didn't remember, I got an alert, and then I booked it. The nurse was really nice as well. And then I got my results as soon as possible, and it was okay.
I was comfortable with it. To me, it's just like they're doing me a favor. That's it. So I don't find it invasive at all. I just, relax and go along with whatever it is that needed to be done.
I'd like to thank my grandma,
my sister,
my lover,
my bestie, my Westie,
my mother.
Thank you for reminding me to go to my cervical screening.
2 women die every day from cervical cancer. But cervical screening can prevent potentially harmful cells developing and stop cancer before it starts. So don't ignore your invite. And if you missed your last cervical screening, book an appointment with your GP practice now.